What is going on YouTube? We picked up this 6th gen 4Runner. I'm pretty sure it's the first one in Idaho and in the Pacific Northwest right now. I'm pretty sure there are lots more landing right now, but we're heading out. We are leaving the Taco Vinyl headquarters here in Boise, Idaho. We're heading over to our friend CBI in Idaho Falls. We are going to be outfitting this entire 4Runner from front to back with a bunch of their adventure gear. I don't want to reveal too much, but in this video we're going to go over our whole drive there, gas mileage, kind of creature comforts. This is a pretty basic 4Runner. It is an SR5, but it's fully blacked out, 4-wheel drive, no tech, and it's kind of bare bones, but it does have the same engine as the 4th gen Tacoma and the Land Cruisers, most of them, which is the 4-cylinder turbo 8-speed transmission. So anyway, we're gonna head out. We're gonna find out what kind of gas mileage this thing gets on a long drive, and be posting this entire makeover of us getting this thing outfitted. So let's go. Got our drinks, got our camera gear, got our stuff in the back. Our doors, our key fob decals fit the keys perfectly. So let's get out of here. With Artem, who is our designer that designs this 4Runner, or that drives this 4Runner primarily, and I was asking him what kind of gas mileage he's been getting. One of our employees got 22 miles a gallon on a trip, but on average, we're getting about 19, he said. So on the dash, it actually shows 19.1, I think. Let's see here. Let's see. 19.6. So that's not bad, but I guarantee you once we get some armor and some wheels on this thing, it isn't going to be 19 anymore. Topping it off with some 91. Going on a long drive. What is cool is that in the gas caps now, you have the little retainer thing right here for your gas cap. Also, check this out. This is the gas. Click it, and it pops. It's kind of cool. Let's go. Cow. I drove literally the entire way without stopping. I had call after call after call, and sadly, I forgot to show the gas mileage. The gas mileage didn't change at all. I cruised at 80 miles an hour the entire time. Shifting and power was great, but it literally changed by 0.2 better. Let's see here. I was at 19.5 and now it's at 19.7. So hardly any, basically no change. And so anyway, nothing crazy to report. But it drives, man, almost identical to the Tacoma. Maybe a little bit more sluggish, but I'm guessing due to weight that it's a little bit slower. Other than that, very, very similar. Same acceleration, same braking feels. It's a very, very smooth ride when hitting like bumps and stuff on the stock suspension, stock height. So we're gonna see what difference it's gonna make when we start adding some armor, a lift, and some tires. But I just got here to CBI, right here in Idaho Falls, about a 4-hour drive. And yeah, we're gonna see what this thing looks like with some armor. I'm here to see Christian. Oh, there he is. There's Christian.
He's a vlogger.
A vlogger. What's up, guys? Oh my gosh.
Dude, are you ready?
I don't know. Are you ready? Oh, damn. I don't even know how to use this thing.
How to use your camera?
No, bro.
We are about to make this 4Runner sick.
Okay, guys. Here we go. Ready to get all pulled in. We got everything set out. Ladder. Oh, you got your little ladder. Got your little ladder on your TRD Pro. Front skid plate, trans skid plate, transfer case, maybe a little bit further back. Got all the crossbars for the roof rack. And we have the Pro Roof Rack and then the regular roof rack to do a bunch of testing on. Okay guys, we're in full action. We got Cole over here doing the install. He's popping stuff off. We got the OG rack we're doing like a full install video of the rack, showing you how to install the feet with the Vibratite, their fancy cross members that allow you to drop in those one nuts to be able to mount things way easier, way stronger. So this is like the OG rack that they sell a ton of, especially if you're not planning to put anything up there besides gear. And then we're going to immediately take this one off and install the Pro Rack, which is their dual layered one. This one weighs 60 pounds. I'm guessing this one weighs right around 70, 75 pounds from what their engineer was telling me. Just more rigidity. So if you're planning to put like a rooftop tent or something heavier up top, Pro Rack is the way to go. Cole says use some force. Full speed with you. Okay, so here's the actual covers. You can see that there's 2 teeth on that side, 2 teeth on this side. So if you pry this way out, it ends up releasing the entire thing, so they just pop right off. Cole's over there doing work. Look at him struggle over there. He's playing a balance of not breaking the guy's car, but still getting it off. You got it, Cole.
Are you
Going under this, you have your metal sealing pad, 2 screws. These are 12 mil. But this rack is very, very similar to the 5th gen 4Runner one. And what's interesting in the 4th gen Tacoma, they eliminated a bunch of this weather stripping, and they just have like little spots where they have some weather stripping. These ones are full weather stripped. Oh, dang, Cole over there, man. Poor guy. He's sweating over there. Okay, now we got all 4 of the clips off. Now we're gonna undo the screws and get this rack off. Cut the necessary places for the new rack to go onto, and I'm pretty sure it's only going to be up there where the foot actually sits on the vehicle. Okay guys, a little update, sneak peek. We got the rack on. This is the OG roof rack. Check out those tolerances. Pretty freaking spot on. Got a little bit of a gap, which is great. That's what we want. Might end up touching as we fully bolt it down, but other than that, it's freaking good. Oh, first rack is done.
The gap. So the side rails look a little thicker than the 5th gen.
Okay, it's working.
Good morning.
Good morning, vlog.
Day 2.
Day 2.
Day 1.5.
1.5.
Ish.
Yeah, we got here, what, like 2? We installed the original roof rack, which Cole is disassembling.
Yep.
We did all the test fitment. It looked fantastic. The only cut that we had to make was this one. This weather stripping doesn't have any 3M until the very, very bottom down there where it has like the little clip. And then you go up a little bit, you make the cut, and then that's where the foot sits. for the front part of the rack. And then those two other openings were already made. Oh, my ear itches. Those other two openings were already there from the previous stock rack. So now what we're gonna do, we're gonna get everything clean, kind of restart, and then start on the assembly of the Pro Rack, which is this one. He already moved it. So it's the two-piece Pro Rack. And supposedly I've heard it's stronger. Can you speak to how strong it is?
Strong as hell.
I think statistically, what do they have on the website? Is it like 45% stronger?
44, I believe. The crossbars are 44% stronger.
45% stronger crossbars. Obviously, due to this boat-shaped bottom, that prevents the flex of the bar. And then I gotta love these like little inserts to make it easier to mount stuff. You just toss your little nut in there. What do they call these?
Drop-in slots.
Drop-in slots, the T-nuts. Toss those in there, slide them across, and you can mount your hardware to it and your gear. So now we're gonna assemble this Pro Rack. Get that Vibra-Tight in there, because we're gonna be doing so much overlanding in this 4Runner. It's crazy. Cole's killing it out here with this install. We did the OG and now we're working on the Pro. We're doing a little comparison, talking to the engineer, kind of looking at these. You can see that on the 4Runner, the wind fairing almost like matches the angle of the front window. Looks really good. And placement, you got about, 3/4 of an inch right there. Then on the Tacoma, over here, it sets up a little higher. Not much, so it's angled up maybe 5 degrees. It's still great fitment, and also sits about, I don't know, 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch, but that could be purely just because this rack is scooted forward and that rack is scooted backwards. So both of these are ending up in very, very similar locations on the vehicle. Wow, that escalated very quickly. I was outside on a phone call and didn't even realize they pulled it in, got the truck up on the lift. We're getting the skid plates on it. These are the prototypes, so it looks like they're gonna fit up perfectly. Okay guys, I'm trying to update you as best I can. Again, the 4Runner's up on the lift. We are test fitting all these skid plates. They fit fantastic. 2 bolts up front. What's interesting is that the 4Runner does come with an additional support on this. Normally they don't, and you have to use, where's the bracket? This bracket right here. This is what our Tacoma has. So this bracket, it's typically powder coated, but it basically adds that additional support that's needed for the front to have the skid plate be strong. So anyway, this one does have the added support, drops it down, comes on the back. These are the prototypes, so they are aluminum. Come back here, you get your 3 bolts, another access point, full belly skids, and then I want to say this is the transfer case skid. Yep. Boom. Good amount of clearance around the exhaust pipe. Got your breather holes. Good amount of base clearance as well. Anyway, so these are gonna work out fantastic. Now what we're working on is the peak suspension. So we got a rear spacer, and we got our front collar spacer, and then also a small spacer on the top. And then of course we got their upper control arms. Haven't run any of these yet. Stoked to give them a try. I love the these ball joints. This is a really nice bushing. Basically, it's sealed. They last a very, very, very long time. And then you have the uniball. Then you have the uniball in the front, and these are just known for being incredibly strong. Longevity-wise, really, it depends on how long or how well you clean them and maintain them. Because as soon as grime starts like getting down into a few of these spots, they can destroy the seals and the internal parts. But I mean, I've had ball joints last on a vehicle for 2 to 3 years before they start wearing out. But great joint to have if you're off-roading, maintain your vehicle really, really well, and very, very strong. This is a 2.5 inch lift?
2 in the rear, 2 1/4 in front. So it's what's advertised.
2 in the rear, and then you get 2 1/4, and this slips right into onto the stock hanger. And then you get a little spacer on the top. So I would call it a 2.5 inch lift roughly. Beautiful. Suspension is going in. Got them yanked out. Cole's over there making the magic happen. Again, top spacers, lower spacers. I'll show you where that piece goes, and then control arms. So in the meantime, we're test fitting sliders, which I love the sleek design. Got them linking up under the body mount, frame, and then up top. These look awesome. Molle is doing a phenomenal job. We got the spacer up top and the spacer down below, but the order when you install these things is you have your factory mounting plate, then you add your peak spacer, then the rubber spacer on top, cinch it all together, go right back onto the factory mounting point. This is easiest to do if you take it to a shop and have them compress a spring, but there are also kits online where you can just grab like your self-compressing ones. We officially have one side done. Looks fantastic. I love the little fatty washer on the, oh my gosh, focus. Fatty washer back there for the upper control arm bolt that passes all the way through. Cole was saying that to get this bolt out, what are you pushing on, the body mount?
Yeah, that front body mount.
So sometimes this bolt, because it's so long, you gotta push on the front body mount, lift the body just a little bit to allow that bolt to come all the way out. In the Tacomas, you'd have to bend this sheet metal back to be able to get that bolt to pass through, but not on this one. So we got all the bolts marked, got everything torque spec, this fatty bolt. There's 2 ways that you can install this kit. You can either disconnect the upper control arm, flop it up, flop the spindle out of the way, and then take the shock out. Also go to undo your tie rod, or what you can do is pop these 2 massive bolts out the bottom, let the LCA swing out of the way. You have to undo your sway bar and your tie rod again. Then all you gotta do is undo the top bolts, and it literally just slides out the bottom. That's another faster way to do that. Okay guys, Cole's busting into the sliders. You got the nice little openings on the top. 4 mounting locations. Got the one in the rear, the 2 mains, and then this one right here that actually bolts on to the cab mount back here, which is super unique because of how big this thing is. But it still has the detachable point up front. So, got all of our hardware here, magnetized and ready to go. And I'm gonna help Cole slap this guy on. In the shop, guys, we're still at it, doing some testing. We got the original roof rack on to test out their window Molle panel. That they're kind of taking a new concept with it, which is I like. Instead of just covering like the space where the window's at, they're actually making the Molle panels fit the entire usable area so that you just have more real estate. The panels that I've seen, you toss on like a Rotopax case and it takes up the entire panel. Where with these ones, you can see that they're much larger. So I think these are almost 41 inches wide which fits that gap perfectly. And then the bracket that attaches to your rack is actually a full piece. So it gives you a lot of structure to just hold it there. And then the suction cups, there's one for your window. I think you can actually put two for your window, and then one will go here. And the suction cups that they're using are these cool cups that you like pump, and it suctions onto the window. This. And you pump it, and you can actually see it flattening out. And then once it's fully pumped, you can see that it doesn't come out anymore. And they're on there really well. They have a little mounting screw on the top that works with the panel, and when you want to pull them off, you just lift this tab right here. Dude, I'm so weak. Oh, there we go. Okay, so they're still finalizing which two suction cups you get. Right now we're putting on a big and then a small for the front. Might end up becoming too big or too small, or two smalls for the suction cups, but either way, having two of them on there, where if they are kind of coming loose because just due to suction how it works, you can just pump it opposed to having to fully repress them on. So now we are removing the OG rack and doing the final install of the Pro rack that we're going to be running permanently on the 4Runner. So we're going to get this one all installed, sealed, and then we will be running these Molle panels on both sides, which is going to look really good. Okay, Cole's on the other side getting the other Molle panel installed, but check these things out. So instead of only using the real estate over the window and limiting how much room you have to mount stuff, Prinsu's changing it. They're using the entire space. We got two suction cups, a big boy over here on the end, and then a smaller one that comes with a little PPF decal to help protect your paint. Then you got two mounts, and then also I think you could even pull a third one right here. But I mean, it's pretty solid. Got about a ½ inch of clearance up top between the window and the actual bracket. The bracket just attaches straight on with factory hardware or original hardware from the rack itself. And then you got these little bit larger bolts to mount the Molle panel to that bracket. There's about a 2-inch gap here between the window and the Molle panel. Now what we have left is we got a ladder to install and ditch lights. Woo, but on the phone, I have not been keeping up on the install. Been slacking over here. They're installing and testing the ladder. We also, while I was outside taking a call, installed the ditch light brackets. Decently low profile, enough space and height to where when the hood is up, it isn't going to touch the plastic here. I'm going to put some lights on. Hopefully get a full light lineup for up top, and then eventually the bumper down below. We got our skid plates all powdered up. They look nice. Full aluminum. Got some additional brackets for the ladder that we are not taking, but these 3 skids are ready to rock and roll. I'm gonna get this guy back up on the lift and get them installed, and then we're heading off to alignment. Get everything squared up, and then we will be heading on our way back to Boise. Cole's under here making the magic happen, but this is their prototypes, so there are 2 adjustments that they're going to make to these skid plates, maybe a few more, but basically this support bar up here has an extra piece of metal on it that shifts the front part of the skid plate down a little bit, leaving a gap back there, in which case we had to add a frame washer too, just for this prototype, but the new ones are going to fit the same, the adjustments. So this is what they're going to look like. They're just going to make some fine-tuning adjustments on the future models. But this is the full belly skids. So you got the front, you got your hole for your oil change, and I want to say this is the what's this hole for?
I would think drain plug and oil filter.
Oh yeah, okay, so this is the drain plug one, and then this is the oil filter. So oil filter, drain plug, holes, And then we have our transmission skid plate. Huge. Goes all the way out to the side of the frame to keep all the debris and crap from going up there. And then we have our transmission skid plate, or a transfer case skid plate. We got our transfer case up there. This is probably one of the biggest adjustments. They like how this one fits seamlessly with a back bracket. This one is a stack that they would prefer to have that kind of positioning back here as well, so it's also seamless. But this is still a really, really strong design. But on the new ones, this adjustment is going to be made in the future models that they'll end up selling. Had these ones powder coated, they're TRD gray, purely because they're going to stand out. People will see them. They look good. Winding down our day, we just got the 4Runner back from alignment. Surprisingly, when we tossed on the peak suspension, typically if you toss on any suspension, there's like, the alignment's really, really off. But we added in the 2.5 inch lift or 2.25 inch lift in the front with the upper control arms from peak. And surprisingly, when they went to alignment, I think I have the sheet right here. Okay, so this was after the lift, or yeah, after we did the lift, and this is after they did the alignment. So I had a little bit of toe on both sides, nothing crazy, but the caster and camber were still in the green, which is crazy. That upper control arm really did make a difference, making sure that the alignment was in. So anyway, thanks to Bybee's Alignment and Brakes. They've been in business for 50 years. It's crazy. Same location, downtown Idaho Falls. So anyway, 4Runners all decked out, ready to rock and roll. We are going to swap on some 35s for content. We're going to toss on these bad boys from Black Rhino. I think they'll look good for some content purposes, and then when we get back to Boise, we'll be tossing on our own wheel and tire setup. Oh my gosh, this thing, we've been putting on stuff all the past 3 days, and I've been like, yeah, cool, great, yeah, it looks good. But then we just put on 35s. This thing is sick. It is fantastic looking. It looks proper with some 35s under it. Yeah, that'll put a smile on your face. I'm not gonna show you guys it because we're gonna put on one more thing. We're gonna put on the like little ridgeline handles. I'll show you right here. Got the little handles going in. 4 of them. Just so that we have some attachment points up here just to grab onto. Add some scenic lighting and whatnot. So we're gonna get those handles installed, then we're gonna go out. Christian, Michael, get some content, get some pictures. Then you guys will see what it looks like on 35s. Okay guys, we just pulled it out. Oh my gosh, it's insane. Check this thing out. I can't believe this all happened so fast. How I got a hold of the 4Runner so quickly was the salesman over at Edmark, who I buy all of my Toyotas through, called me and said, hey, one of our managers that ordered this special whatever, it arrived on randomly, and we're not supposed to get any for like 2 to 3 months. Do you want to come look at it? And I was like, sure. I was literally up the road, came by, and lo and behold, it was a 4Runner. Basically the package that I wanted. They were extremely nice. They didn't throw anything on. They actually minimized all my insurances because they know I outfit these things. And within 15 minutes, I'd bought in the 4Runner. And then reached out to CBI because Taco Mine and we are located in Boise, Idaho, and CBI, they're over in Idaho Falls, so 4-hour drive, roughly a 4-hour drive away. I contacted my man Christian. Anyway, contacted Christian. He asked Nate, and he was like, oh, this is perfect. Ours hasn't shown up yet. Come on by, let's do this. And brought it by, showed up on Monday, 3 days later, and we got a fully built 4Runner, ready to rock and roll. We're stoked to get our set of wheels and tires on it, but I'll tell you what, this thing looks phenomenal. The build out for this thing is amazing. Love the look. I'm gonna do a little walkthrough real quick just to show you everything that we did. Michael's gonna continue taking pictures, so I'm just gonna record. We did the wheels and tires are borrowed just from there Tacoma until we can get back to Boise and get ours. But suspension wise, we did a peaked lift, which I've shown you guys. The upper little spacer and the lower spacer, upper control arms, and then we put a spacer in the rear. Then starting from the front, we did skid plates down below. Full belly all the way back. No LCA ones quite yet, but I'm assuming they're gonna have them ready here soon. Then we did the ditch lights. Tossed some Squadron combos on there. We did the Prinsu Pro Rack, which looks phenomenal, and honestly, the strength of this one compared to the other one is night and day. So if you are gonna load up your vehicle, the Pro Rack is definitely the way to go. Then we touched on the Ridgeline handles, which are really nice because we can toss some Baja lights in there, which is what our plan is. Then we got our Molle panels that go over the window and over part of the body. So now you can honestly put 2 roto packs side by side and some additional gear on there if you'd like. Then going to the back, show you guys this. On this side we decided to put a mini Max Trax, which looks freaking awesome. And then we did the sliders. And that's it. Talk about cost to outfit a vehicle to this extent. Some people are wondering. Hey, your Pro Racks are what, 1,300 bucks? Yep. So the Pro Rack, right around 1,300 bucks. You got your window Molle panels, which are
$379.
Which are $379 per panel. So 800 bucks. Then you're gonna do the skid plates, and I want to say they're $1,200 for the full belly skids, and then an additional $250 for the arms. Ditch light brackets are, I think, 75 bucks. Squadrons are 280, 300 bucks depending on which model and trim you got. Upper control arms are right around $1,000. The lift kit is $500. Wheels and tires, depending on which one you get, of this size, you're probably looking at the $350 tire with another at least $250 to $300 for the wheels. And then the last part is going to be the sliders. You're looking at an additional $1,200 to $1,500 bucks depending on where you're at for those. So we add those up. I wasn't even counting, but I'm gonna add them up and toss them in the caption below so you guys can see. Other than that, guys, thanks for watching this series with this. I'm still going to do another episode of us driving back to Boise. We got 19.6 miles per gallon on the way here, going about 80 miles an hour. We're going to throw on the stock tires again. We got rid of the valence, and my guess is we're going to get like 17, but we're about to find out. Okay, last little bit of our episode. Drove back, I averaged 17.9. But the trip average, overall trip from the time I left, because I did set the miles per gallon, was 18.5. That was a long drive, four-ish hours, but we made it back. 4Runners back at the house. Made the drive safely, thank goodness. Nothing came up at all. It was cold, it cruised just fine, and there was definitely a little bit more wind noise with the rack and the accessories on the side, but other than that, I would say I lost 1 mile per gallon with the added weight, lift, and roof rack. That's not too bad. I'm okay with that. Now we're gonna see what adding 35s does to the gas mileage, because I guarantee you it's gonna destroy it. But anyway, guys, thank you for tuning on this probably multi-episode series for YouTube about our 6th Gen 4Runner. Lots more content to come, especially with us adding larger tires, decals, other accessories to the rear, rooftop tent, stuff like that. So thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to subscribe, comment if you have questions, or shoot us an email if you're looking to outfit your 4Runner like this. We do it right here in Boise, Idaho. We have a full install shop for wheels, tires, suspension. We sell all the CBI, Prinsu stuff, Baja, all of it. So we'll catch you guys on the next episode. Thanks for watching.